I think we'll get
Recording in
started.
progress.
Um, we are required to take this vote annually prior to June 1st, and then report our vote to the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, DESE. Newton has traditionally declined to participate in the school choice program, and we have a memo from Interim Superintendent Kathy Smith recommending that the school committee elect not to participate in the program for the FY24 school year due to our current enrollment and space limitations. We will take a vote on this matter later in the meeting during our consent agenda. However, this public hearing time is reserved to hear from anyone who wishes to speak regarding the topic of school choice. At this time, I will pause. And Stephen, if you could scroll through and see if we have anyone who's raised their virtual hand during the meeting to speak on school choice. Hearing that no one has raised their hand to give us public comment, on school choice, and having received no requests to speak in advance, I will now move to close the hearing and call to order our May 22nd regular meeting of the school committee. At this point, I'll say hello to everyone in the school committee chamber and to everyone joining us home. We will begin our regular portion of our meeting with public comment, which is a period reserved for members of the public to address the school committee and for the committee to hear your concerns directly. We do not respond in this context, but we will listen and seriously consider feedback. Each of us is available by email or phone should anyone wish to schedule a conversation. We do have a few folks signed up to speak, and when called, you'll be able to unmute, state your name and address, and take up to 3 minutes to share your concern with the committee. Vice Chair Kathy Shields will give a 30-second verbal warning before time expires. And our first public commenter is Heather Tosig, followed by Ode Henin.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Heather Tausig. I live at 120 Garland Road. I appreciate the opportunity to address you again tonight on the topic of gun violence prevention and gun safety. I am wearing a number of hats tonight as a mom of former NPS kids, a neighbor to many current NPS students, a volunteer with Moms Demand Action, and a co-founder of the Newton Gun Violence Prevention Collaborative. As you know, I've been in dialogue with NPS administrators about gun safety education since 2019, and I wanted to give you all an update on Newton-wide efforts and upcoming events addressing firearm safety. June is Gun Violence Awareness Month, and to kick this off on the evening of June 1st, there's going to be a virtual community forum hosted by the Newton Police, the Newton Health and Human Services Department, and the Newton Gun Violence Prevention Collaborative, to learn about strategies to keep kids safe, to store guns safely, and explore the ways that red flag laws can protect our family, friends, and community. This info was shared in the PTO newsletters last week, and I hope it will be in the following ones as well as it was in the mayor's newsletter, which is much appreciated. At a fall school committee meeting, Superintendent Smith mentioned the intention of NPS to run a social media campaign on school safety. I've been in dialogue with Toby Romer, and he and Julie McDonough. I'm very grateful for their commitment to share the announcement of this upcoming community forum, and look forward to ways of working with NPS and HHS to share additional firearm safety information with NPS families. I'd like to mention again that the school committee has the opportunity to publicly commit to a safe storage resolution. Over 2 million K-12 students nationwide now attend schools with firearm storage awareness policies in place. I believe this would empower NPS to find additional ways to notify all parents and caregivers about the life-saving effects of secure firearm storage and child access prevention measures, not just in the month of June. Speaking of reducing child access, I also wanted to let you know about the upcoming June 24th gun buyback, which is co-hosted by the Newton Police Department and the Newton Gun Violence Prevention Collaborative in partnership with the Middlesex County Sheriff's Department. According to the Newton Police Department, there are currently 2,586 active gun permits in Newton. The June gun buyback is supported by local residents and businesses working to make our community safer by providing a concrete, practical way to reduce the risk of gun violence. If you know of any other individuals or organizations that think you should be involved in the gun buyback, please let us know. And lastly, I just want to make sure you're aware of developments at the state level that impact NPS. The legislature has committed to pass a comprehensive gun violence prevention bill this session. And as a part of that work, Representative Michael Day, who's chair of the Judiciary Committee, is holding a statewide listening tour on a variety of issues related to gun violence. There will be 2 listening sessions this week, and most relevant for all of you here who care deeply about our kids' safety, tomorrow night, Tuesday, May 23rd, from 6 to 8 at the Framingham State University Dining Annex. The topic is school shootings. The way these are typically run is there's a panel of experts, they share their thoughts, and then there's Q&A from the audience. I hope to see all of you there. If you need any additional information on these events, feel free to reach out to me. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this, but anyway, my phone number is 617-943-4736.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Ode Hennin.
Hi, hello, school committee members. My name is Ode Hennin and I live at 5 Jennison Street. I'm the parent of a junior at North and an 8th grader at Day. I'm a child psychologist and researcher and a Newton upstander. Thanks for the opportunity to speak with you today about AP exam enrollment and performance in the Newton schools. My understanding is that there's been recent criticism of the district around perceived declines in AP test performance and concerns that this reflects a general decline in the quality of education in Newton schools. I'm here to challenge this false narrative. Looking at a range of traditional metrics, Newton continues to maintain excellence, whether this be measured through SAT scores, the rates of students getting into their top choices in college, admission into IB schools, or AP test results. But these metrics, impressive as they are, only tell a small part of NPS's strength. NPS has earned its reputation because it is committed to innovative teaching strategies and approaches that challenge the highest performing students while also supporting and nurturing those who are struggling. Many of the changes, such as multi-level classes that have recently taken place, are research-based strategies that are geared to raising the bar for all students. In fact, NPS's success in encouraging students, including those with minoritized or marginalized identities, to participate in AP classes has been clear in the recently published report. The data in this report also show that overall Newton students have consistently excelled on AP tests. I had the opportunity to go and look at the data starting as far back as 2007, because I like to geek out on data. And until the pandemic in 2019 and 20, for all AP tests other than AB Calc, the numbers of students obtaining scores of 3 and above on final AP exams have remained consistently high. The line is flat. There simply has not been an overall decline in performance on AP tests. Now, it is clear that the COVID pandemic did have a profound impact on students' learning and performance, and data from the AP exams follow this pattern. We do see declines in performance beginning in 2019 through 21. But as noted in the report, we have to consider additional contributing factors, such as the fact that there were a significant percentage of students who didn't take AP tests, including many who were doing very well in the courses. And the data from the report shows that the number of students taking AP tests is so low that the data during this time are impossible to interpret. Drawing conclusions from data with such low responses, in some instances as low as 27%, is too subject to bias to be meaningful. If this was submitted to an academic journal, it would be immediately rejected because of this problem. Now, one complaint is that the policies instituted by school administrators, including Dr. Turner, and specifically mixed level classes, have reduced academic performance among high achieving students. And again, this is not supported by the evidence for all the reasons that I've stated. In addition, the oft-cited decrease in AB calculus scores began before these changes were implemented in 2017. For example, the biggest drop in AB calculus scores occurred in 2016, where there was a 20% decrease in scores. In contrast, previous research supports the benefit of heterogeneous classrooms for high-achieving students, both because they provide opportunities for peer learning and collaboration, and because they more closely mirror the adult world in work, where being able to work effectively and collaborate in diverse groups is as important as intellectual and academic ability.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Up next, we have Jeffrey Pontiff.
Thank you. Look, AP scores provide external validation of how well we're doing teaching students, period. Okay. And whenever NPS gets external validation of anything, it always looks bad. And people come out and say, oh, well, there are all these excuses about why we're doing poorly. There are three facts that we can all agree on. First, our AP score performance is lower than our peers. Okay, that's important. Second, data from the administration's PowerPoint that you're going to see shows that over the last 4 years, students have taken the AP exam without AP classes over 1,000 times. Why? Why are students saying, I'm just going to take the exam, I'm not going to go to class? Third fact, these students that take the exam but don't go to class, these students are 4.1% more likely to receive a passing AP score than students who take the class. The simple explanation for what is going on is that we're doing a poor job educating our students. It would be reassuring if the administration admitted that there is room for improvement, took responsibility, and work towards providing our children with the education that they deserve. But this isn't going to happen. I predict we're going to see a presentation, because I read the presentation too. They will try to bamboozle you. They will throw logic-defying explanations around that are not supported by data. Here are the excuses that you're going to hear. First of all, AP courses are more inclusive now. Now, they leave out any logic about why being inclusive leads to poorer test scores. Maybe it's because marginalized students perform worse. If that's the case, they could present data. For example, take out students that don't receive free lunch and compare that to a similar group at peer districts. Do they do that? No. Okay, that would be evidence. They claim that students that do not take the exams are better performing students. Any statistician that you talk to would normally better students take the exam. If you look at the data that they say supports this, it is wrong. Okay, there's grade inflation. Most students get A's and B's. You can't do that comparison at all. They will claim that they can't do a comparison because other districts don't require AP tests. Well, we can compare ourselves to districts that don't require AP tests. We can look at the ratio of AP classes taken to AP tests taken. They claim that COVID was a problem. Well, COVID was a problem for all of our peers, okay? The school committee has to take education seriously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thanks to all who spoke. We very much appreciate hearing your perspective. Our public comment period is now closed. Next on our agenda is the interim superintendent update. And for this, I'll turn to Kathy.
Thank you, Tamika. We're going to share in this. I think you have a
Yes.
piece of it and I do, but I think I want to start. Oh, sorry. Start by talking into